So let me share the screen. Can somebody confirm if the screen is visible?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Is visible? Okay. Okay, so we are trying to discuss the concepts of Bhagavad Gita at a very high level. We call it, sometimes we call it a crash course, or sometimes we call it a Gita in nutshell. So nutshell means it's a very, very small capsule of, whatever Bhagavad Gita is telling us. So anybody can tell who has attended the session, what did we discuss in first session? Any point you remember?
About the
Anybody who
gross
attended?
body and subtle body.
Yes, that was the last session. Yes. Okay, any other point? Anybody remembers?
This is a material world with full of miseries.
Yes, very important thing to realize. Frankly
And we
speaking,
should,
unless and until, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah, we should remember Krishna or any god uh, every time when we can.
Yes, yes, that is the essence of any. Any other point? Anybody remembers?
Atma and our body are two different things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Very important point. We should remember this. That's the base of our spiritual journey. It's the foundation on which our spiritual journey depends, that we are not the body, we are soul. Okay, anything else?
First session was for happiness.
Sorry, Mataji, could you repeat?
First session was for happiness.
Yes, yes. First session was that we all are searching happiness, right? That's an important thing. And the spiritual practices give us happiness. Material things cannot give us happiness. Okay, any other point? Anybody remembers? Okay, so that's a good to start. Thank you for sharing the points. That means you are meditating upon those points, which is very important. So let's get started. So as usual, we are dedicating our session to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He is the founder Acharya of ISKCON. And because of him, we are able to understand Bhagavad Gita in a very simple way. Is the kind of commentary he has written on Bhagavad Gita. It makes it very accessible. Bhagavad Gita is accessible to everybody by his endeavors. So we just offer some prayers to Srila Prabhupada and to Krishna. Okay. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prishaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Litanamine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharani, Vishesha Shri. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishna Bhutale, Srimati Bhaktivedanta Shri Guru Dintanam Paramananda Shri. Oh, shoot. I went on some, just a minute. These are all our previous. Sorry about that. I thought I opened the right screen, but okay. So today's topic is, can my work make me happy? Work is worship. That's what we all believe, right? So before that, we'd like to take just some poll from where you are and what is your age group, so that we know. So Prabhu, can you launch poll 1 and poll 2?
Sure, Prabhu. Launching first one.
I request everybody to poll. Okay. Prabhu, can you do the next one?
Yeah, so this is, I'm sharing the result for first one.
Sure.
Okay, so 5 people from Sova City and 2 people from Orchid and 1 outside Bangalore. Stop sharing. And let me launch second one. This is related to age group. Okay, 100% participation. I'm sharing the result as well.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Okay.
everybody, for polling. Can I go ahead, Prabhu?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yeah, please continue. Done.
Sure. So I just wanted to start with one question, that is, are there any disparities in life? Everybody knows the meaning of disparity. Disparity means there are inequalities which we observe around us. Anybody can share any example of that? Do we understand the meaning of disparity? Disparity means inequality. No idea? Okay, let me share some things. Some people are born strong. Some are born weak. Is it a disparity? Some are born beautiful. Some are born ugly. Some have lots to eat. Some not even have a drop. Some get the best education. Some don't have the basic needs. Some are very fair. Some are very dark. Some stay in mansion. Some stay in huts. Some are born to rich parents. Some are born to poor parents. Now everybody is able to relate what are the disparities which we observe around us. Everybody agrees to that. There are disparities. So who is responsible for those disparities? Why this disparity is there? Anybody has ever thought why this disparity is there? Anybody would like to share any thoughts on that? Why there is disparity?
Our karmas.
It's karmas. Okay, what is karma? What is the meaning of karma?
Prabhuji, so I'm just telling out of listening to Garud Puran. In that it was mentioned how your next birth is, it becomes certain as per your karmas in this life.
I agree.
So I'm
with
just telling from there.
very nice. And we also observe that some good people suffer in their life, bad people enjoy. Most of us on this topic, because most of the time politicians, they accumulate crores and crores and crores, and we struggle for even to get some, even after working in great fields in IT and all that, we are not able to accumulate lakhs also. Good people suffer, bad people enjoy. So does that mean God is partial? Okay, just Viren Prabhu, one poll. Poll number 3, is God partial?
Poll 3 is responsibility of suffering.
Correct, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So who is the responsible for a suffering of a person? Is it God? Is it person himself? Or is it material nature? Please poll. Please go ahead and poll. Yes. Okay.
So everyone
So
says person is from himself.
oh, this is the first time I'm getting a poll result where everybody is convinced. Person himself. Oh, thank God. Because many sessions we just get the result that God is responsible for that. So at least here everybody is saying that. I'm very happy. So what does Bhagavad Gita say? So this question was, is God partial? See, whenever I'm discussing the last two sessions, you must have observed that what we are doing here is we're trying to get the answer from Bhagavad Gita. What Bhagavad Gita say about this? So there is a shloka in 9th chapter, 29th shloka, which says, Sammoham sarva bhuteshu, name dveshyo asti na priyaha, ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya, mai te teshu chapriyaham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend of him. So, okay, anyway, we are discussing here the first part, which is like, I don't envy anyone, and I'm not partial to anyone. So, Krishna is saying that. Another shloka, which is 5th chapter, 29 shloka, which is very important, which says, Bhokta Ram Yagya Tapsam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam Gyatvam Mam Shantim Vichati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerity, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material misery. So here, the most important point, which were, of course, there are many points in this shloka, but in the constraints of time, I'm just taking the point which I wanted to continue the discussion further, where he's saying, Suhridam Sarva Bhutanam. Krishna is saying, I am the Suhridam of everybody. Suhridam, it is translated in this thing is well-wisher. So what is Krishna saying? That means God is well-wisher of everyone. Sarva Bhutanam. He didn't even say Sarva Manushyanam. He says Sarva Bhutan. He is a friend of or well-wisher of only human beings. He is well-wisher of Sarva Bhutan. All living entities, he is the well-wisher. So he is the literally means actually Suhridam is a very it's a see in English we have the word friend. Maybe good friend, better friend, or best friend, I don't know. But in Sanskrit, there are very, very different, this thing is there. Mitra, Sakha, like that, there are many words, and Suhridam is considered as the highest of, all. That means he is best of best friend of everyone. Suhridam means Hriday. This in Hindi we say Hriday means our heart is meeting. Very rare to find in our life, any friend. We may have many good friends, but is there anybody who knows? Very few people are lucky to have friends like that, where and friends who are there for whole life with us, who are, before even I say I am in difficulty, they understand I am in difficulty. Very rare to find. We have friends which are there in our childhood, in our education, in our college, in our school, then our in office. And with the time, the friendship keep on changing. Very rare to find the whole life this thing. Now, if Krishna is saying that I am Suhridam, I am the well-wisher, why there is so much disparity? How can a well-wisher be different to different people? Isn't it? So this question comes. So here, the scriptures give the example of a judge. It is the same judge who is awarding punishment to some people and he is rewarding some people. So does that mean the judge is partial? What do you say? Anybody would like to say judge is partial to some people and not partial to others? Is the judge impartial? At least he's supposed to be. In Indian judiciary system, we can't say anything, but yes, ideally a judge is supposed to be impartial, right? So judge is giving punishment or rewards according to the deeds of the person. So as many of you already reported that either you are in Shobha City or Orchid apartment, you know, so these apartments are relatively a better place to live than a lot of people whom we find on the road. You go in night, you will find people sleeping on the road. And we are lucky to have AC rooms. We have a nice place to come in the evening and sleep. So it is all judge is not responsible for the punishment or the reward of a person. In the material aspect we are talking, in the our life around us. So there is a Newton's law. For those who are from the science background, they know the Newton's third law of motion, right? Which says for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. Sorry, it is not written. Equal and opposite reaction. And we have studied in our physics that okay, you throw a ball equally, it will come back, and all those things. So that Newton's third law of motion applies to our lives as well. So every action of ours has equal and opposite reaction. What does it mean? Anybody can explain? What does it mean? For every action, there is equal and opposite reaction. Any thoughts on this? In terms of actions, in terms of karma, what does it mean? No thoughts? That means if I do good work, I'll get the good results. If I do the bad work, get bad actions, I'll get the bad results. But the question here is, who is seeing my action? Who will decide that my action is good or bad? Who is seeing? When we go in court also, a person has to prove that that the lawyer has to prove that he has done the action. Suppose a convict is or whatever. A person he murdered somebody, but in the court of law he is being proved somehow. Either there should be some witness or there should be some circumstances which make it prove that the person is the behind the action. Again, Bhagavad Gita gives a shloka, 18 chapter 61, where Krishna says, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati Brahmyam sarva bhutani yantra rudani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of material energy. So this body, whatever we have, it has been compared as yantra, a machine. And on that machine, we discussed last week, there is something called Atma. We are the body. In the body, there is Atma, which represents the person I am. And then there is another person, which is Paramatma, who is seated in the heart. So this body had two persons within it. It's not just one person, it is two persons. One person is me, myself, Atma, and second person is Paramatma. So you can see in this picture, which is depicting that God is there as Paramatma in every living entity. It is a sadhu, it is a hunter, it's a lion, it is a peacock. So Lord is seated as Paramatma in everyone's heart as a witness of our activities. So even if we do any bad activity thinking that I am doing in isolation, who will observe me? Sorry to say, there is one witness who is observing. Upanishads explain this analogy that two birds are sitting on the same branch. It is a shloka from Upanishad which says that there is a tree. On that tree, there are two birds sitting. One bird is busy in eating the fruits of the tree, and other bird is observing the tree, observing the other bird who is busy in. So here, can anybody say who is the bird which is Atma and who is the Paramatma? Did you understand my question? There are two birds sitting on a tree. One is busy in eating the fruits of the tree, and other one is just looking at the bird who is eating the fruits. Who is me and who is Parma?
The one who is eating is the Atma, and the one who is observing is Paramatma.
Correct. Thank you so much. Yes. So Upanishads give very relevant example, right? So you imagine that one bird is sitting and busy in eating the fruits, other one is just observing. And this bird is observing, is the witness of everything. So don't ever think that I will do any misdeeds and there is nobody to observe me. Okay, we may, in the law of court of the land, we may escape somehow by killing somebody, but if nobody is able to prove that I have killed somebody, we'll escape. But that is not the case with law of material nature. There you will be, so whatever we do, we have that, what is that, whatever we sow and we reap, something like that proverb. जो बोएंगे वही पाएंगे हिंदी में बोलते हैं, right? Whatever we sow and we'll reap the same. So don't think that, oh, nobody has observed, I will, and whatever good we do, even very silently if we are doing, even that is being observed. If nobody, God is observed. So there is a story of Dhritarashtra in Mahabharata. So this story goes like this, that after the Mahabharata war is over, Dhritarashtra asked Krishna that, why I have to suffer like this, that all my 100 sons, I have to see them being killed. I am born as a blind. Why so much injustice is being done to me? So our Lord Krishna replied back saying that 50 birds before you were a hunter and you had fired one fire arrow. You know what is a fire arrow? Means in earlier days there were different kind of arrows which, so you can fire arrow, you can fire with which it will go and burn the thing on which. So you basically wanted to kill a bird with this thing. And because of that, what happens when you fired an arrow, that arrow went into a tree and it burned the nest of a bird. And, that bird, what happened? The male bird became blind because of that. All the 100 children that bird had died, and wife also, basically wife also turned blind. Basically, they both were trying to save their children. They both became blind. And this thing, all the children, 100, whatever you call birds, children of the bird, they died. So Dhritarashtra said, oh, okay. He was an intelligent person. In Vedic era, even the bad person, which we assume are bad, they were knowledgeable. So that Dhritarashtra said, okay, I understand that. But why, I'm getting the results of this after 50 birds? Then Krishna said, because you are supposed to accumulate so many good deeds to get 100 children. Because to get 100 children also requires good karmas, right? So anything good is happening in our life is also action, is the result of our good karma. So what do we understand from this story? Who will tell me? Anybody would like to share the thought from this? Is the story clear to everybody? Nobody understood the essence of the story? Okay, let me show you one example. So this happens in America. In India, we can take a very rustic example. I don't know how many of you have, I know in olden, I'm just saying from 20, 30 years back also. In April, we used to get, at least in North, we get the wheat crop comes, new crop comes. So what my father used to do, he will go to the market and he will buy some big, maybe 40 kgs wheat or something like that. He will bring, and we will have one drum in our house and we will put all that rice into, wheat into that drum. And what will happen is, and when there was one hole down, so what we used to do is we used to take that wheat out of that hole. We'll just lift it. It was a kind of lid, and then we take out, and then we go to our atta chakki, and we will grind it there. Nowadays we have wheat flour, but I'm just selling what was 30 years, 20, 25 years back, 30 years back. So I'm sure most of you have, if not done, you must have observed this happen, right? So in this picture also, this now I think with the scientific advancements, these big they are called the granary. Grain tanks are there. So they are near the fields. In America, at least, it's very popular. I'm not sure if India it's still. So what they do is they take out all the wheat or whatever grains, and they put in this big grains. And down there is some big hole kind of thing. From there, they keep taking and keep transporting it. So it is stored in this. So now imagine a scenario where I'm talking from my perspective, what I tell you that how my father used to do. So there is already some wheat is there in that drum for my previous year. In the April of, assume in 2025, there is some wheat which is available from 2024, which we had bought. And now there is a new crop. So I put it whole one, whatever bag of 40, 50 kg in the same drum. So assume this new crop was not so good, but my previous year wheat was very good quality. But what will happen is, suppose when you take it down, still because the previous years wheat is still there, the good wheat is coming, but bad wheat which has been put from the top is still not coming down. So any child standing there, that what the child will observe? The child will observe, oh, my father had put one bad wheat, but from the down good wheat is coming. Oh, that means this drum is some magic is there inside. So is the child correct in observing this? No, because it is still there is a backlog of whatever you call it, accumulation of previous year's wheat is there. Same way in our lives also, these things happen. Sometimes people do some good things and they escape from the, this thing. But don't assume that, or you are doing good thing, but still you are getting some bad results, some bad things happening in our life. So always remember this example of this drum of wheat. It is still the backlog of our previous dharma reactions. And we may be getting good or bad results irrespective of we doing opposite thing. So whenever you feel depressed about some politician accumulating, lot of wealth or something by doing all these things, or you see some good people, they are doing good people and they are suffering. Whatever help we can do, we should do. But apart from that, we think we should know that it is the action of their previous good or bad karma, which may not be in line with this thing. So always remember that nature's law are infallible because God is sitting as Paramatma in our heart, observing each and every, even thoughts, what we are going. So no one is punished or rewarded undeserving. So never have this thought that whatever I am getting, even if you are getting good, always remember that it is just because. So important. So one point which should always remember is that it is so important to act properly in our life. We should not act what others will feel about us. Nowadays, it's a fashion to make reels. People will go on the road. They will give blanket to the people. They will give some biscuit. I just feel so pity when they will take some Parle-G biscuit and give one biscuit packet to the children and then clicking the photos and then they will put on their Facebook. This thing. Okay, it is not bad thing. I'm saying they are good. This thing, but you are doing it for a show off, right? So the thing is, we should always remember that every action, if we have right knowledge, we will be able to understand that, everything is getting noticed. Everything is being observed. So we should lead a very good, our each act, we should think, am I doing a good act or am I doing a bad act? Even speaking, Bhagavad Gita says very clearly how a person should speak. I'm not going into that because we have a lot of things to discuss. So even our bodies are decided according to our actions. What body I will get in 84 lakh species of life. See, our scripture says that there are 84 lakhs species of life. And our body, our next body. See, last time we discussed Dehino Aswin Yatha Dehe Kaumaram Yovanam Jara Tata Dehantara Praptir Dhiras Satnamuyati. So what will happen at the time, in that shloka means at the time of death, the soul goes into the new body, and Dhiras Satnamuyati, a person who is intelligent, or Dhira, patience, a person who has patience, does not get bewildered by all this. Now, how the soul will go to the next body and what kind of body will be that? How that is decided. Mataji, I forgot the name, I think Neha Mataji, already gave the answer to that. You know, that whatever action we are doing, accordingly our next body is decided. So there is a shloka in 8th chapter which says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajanti ante kalevaram tam tam eveti kaunteya sada sadbhava bhavta. Whatever state of being one remembers we when he quits the body, O son of Kunti, that state we will attain without fail. So at the time of death, if you are thinking, whatever your thought process is, accordingly your next body will be decided. So anybody can say that, okay, at the time of death, I will think about, becoming something, and then actually doesn't happen. This is not the topic of today. Maybe when we have our detailed sessions of Bhagavad Gita, we will discuss this point, but I'll just say that scriptures very clearly, Srimad Bhagavatam decides what happens at the time of death. At the time of death, whole life runs as a picture in front of us very quickly. And wherever our thought process is, suppose I'm giving a very, I should give some, I'm a very, a person who is assumed into illicit activities. Maybe I'm a womanizer. So my thought process will be that, okay, I should enjoy. So even if that point of time I'm not in this thing, but it will, like a picture, it will run, and your this thing, when you're leaving the body, it will stop. Like a olden days, there used to be movies, means there used to be reel, and they quickly used to run, and that used to. Nowadays technology is changed. So our whole life, whatever actions we have done, that will be deciding the thought process at the time of death. And whatever the thought process at the time of death, that will, our accordingly will be. So human life is actually like a junction. Can anybody mute themselves and tell me what is the difference between a railway junction or railway station? Who will tell me the difference? Many railway stations will have junction behind them written, and some of the things it is not written. Anybody
Junction will
knows?
have three lines.
Junction
The
will have
station will- three lines, like three different places it will
three
connect.
different things. So three different directions, basically, right?
Yes, yes.
More than two directions. Basically, it is not a straight line. A station means it's a straight line. Junction mean it can go this side and that side. So after that station is goes, there will be more than one direction. Human form of life is like a junction. It's a very, very important, uh, you know, uh, point of our journey of our, whatever. Life is a too short a word. In the sense, it's our eternal journey. It is a very human life is a very, very important junction. So at this junction, if we don't decide a right direction, we may go into the wrong direction. Assume there is a junction and it is going in two directions, and you don't take the ticket of the right side you want to go. So you will end up going in the other side. So human life, the differentiation is intelligence. A human form of life, we have the intelligence to differentiate what is good action, what is bad action. And accordingly, my next destination is decided. So it's a very, very important. Actually, scriptures very clearly define that animals don't have that liberty. They don't have that liberty, what they will get. They are just in the process of evolution, whatever. And in that body, they will just do the action and they don't get any reaction. In the sense, a lion, when a lion will kill a deer, it will not have any effect. But if a human is killing another person, a deer, for example, it will have effect. So, how is my next life decided? Prabhu, there is one poll like that. Can you
Sure, Prabhu.
say?
It is launched.
How is the next life decided according to Bhagavad Gita? Okay, so Prabhu, can you show the results?
Yes.
Okay.
I am showing, bro.
Good.
So here
Okay.
everyone agrees.
So everybody has answered. Oh, so today's see karma is one topic where everybody is very clear, isn't it? We all know it. So it's not that something, but only thing is we need to practice. So what are the type of karmas? What are the different kind? Karma is actually, I was when asking Neha Mataji. So karma actually is very simple words. Karma actually in Sanskrit. It is action, nothing else. And Bhagavad Gita talks about this in detail actually. So what are the different kind of karmas? Karma or sukarma we can say means good actions, good karma. Vikarma is means bad karma in the sense which are not prescribed in our scriptures, like killing, exploiting others, and dishonesty, cheating. There are many things, which are in our scriptures. It is designed. Uh, Stealing, having illicit relations. There are so many things which are our scriptures. These two things we are very clear. But Bhagavad Gita talks about another kind of karma. That is akarma. Akarma means neutral actions. Actions which are not giving me good action, good results or bad results. It's just action which does not give me any result. So somebody may question why I need to do some action which will not give me any results. Can anybody tell me why we need kind of actions which does not give me any results? Good action will give me good results. Bad action will give me bad results. Why I need neutral action which will not give me any results? Who will tell that?
Daily routine karmas that we do in our life, that is, I think, example of neutral karma.
No. Actually, any action which we do will have reaction. That's not
Okay.
a. Any other thoughts? See, when we do bad karma, everybody knows that, okay, bad karma means bad reaction. We already saw the Dhritarashtra story. We may, after one birth, two birth, in this life, or 10 lives, or 50 lives, or 100 lives, I'll get it back. So I'll come back to suffer. Good karma also, when we do, we have to come back to enjoy it. Means whatever good is happening in our life at the moment is primarily the results of our good actions in past. But one thing we have to understand, our scriptures wants us to come out of this cycle of birth and death. Means our action, if it is good action, I will take birth again to enjoy. If I have bad action, I will have to take birth again to suffer. But akarma is neutral actions which don't get me any results, and I don't come back. I'll come to what kind of actions are akarma. Okay. So there is a story of in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is King in Riga. King Riga, I will keep it very short. It's a long story, but I'll keep it very short. King Riga was a very good king. He was a very pious king. So he used to do a lot of charity, and in his kingdom, everybody was happy and very, very, very pious king. So what happens once he decided that he will give cows in charity? Okay, Gaudan bolte hain. So he called one Brahmana and he gave 100 cows to that Brahmana. And next day he decided, okay, I will donate another 100 cows. He called another Brahmana and he gave 100 cows. But first day what happened, the 100 cows which he gave to the first Brahmana, one of the cows came back and got merged into this new lot, his old lot basically, 100 cows. Now in the morning, that Brahmana is coming next day morning, and he is coming to the king that that one of the cow is missing. And then he observes that next day what king gave the Brahmana the 100 cows, in that one cow is there, which was given to him previous day. And he goes to king and tells that, you gave me one cow in charity yesterday, and you have the same cow you have given today to another Brahmana, And he says, once a thing is given in charity, it cannot be taken back. So you have to give me the same cow which you gave me yesterday. Then king said, okay, no problem. He calls second Brahmana and he tells that this one particular cow, by mistake, it has come to your lot. Can you give it back to this Brahmana? That Brahmana gives the same logic which first Brahmana gave. Once a thing is given in charity, dan is given, dan ho gaya, ab वापस नहीं ले सकते. So you have given me in charity this cow, you cannot take back. Now King Nriga is in dilemma. He begs to both the Brahmanas, okay, I will give you 100 more, I'll give you 1,000 more, you give this to him. He says, don't you take another one. Somehow both of them are not agreeing. And at last they curse him, you become a lizard. And this King Nriga, then this Bhagavatam, the story comes after thousands of years later, when Krishna is there in Dwarka. That time Krishna's children, they were playing in the well, and they see one big lizard, and they call Krishna, and Krishna touches that, takes out that bird, the lizard with the hand, and that Nriga get liberated. But before that, Parikshit, who is a Bhagavatam, is a conversation between Shukadeva and Parikshit. So there Parikshit asks, how is it possible? A person who is doing so much good karma, he did charity. What wrong he did? Why he had to suffer like this? And Shukdev Goswami answers that in this world, everything is relative. Goodness is also relative. Bad is also relative. So in this world, you don't assume that I will do good and I will get the good result. Sometimes doing good also can give you trouble. So best thing is you should do action as an offering to Krishna, as an offering to God. So there is another example in this context, which is Prabhupada gives in his books, is a soldier killing another soldier suppose I am an army person. I go to the border, and now India, Pakistan, this thing is going on. Tension is going on at the moment. So assume, God forbid, if fight happens between India and Pakistan, then what will happen? Soldier will go and kill on the border another Pakistani soldier. Indian soldier will kill Pakistani soldier. And what will happen after the war is over? The government will give him reward, saying that you have killed, Pakistani soldier. You are a very good person. Now the same soldier, assume he is coming on a holidays to his village, and he has some fight with his neighbor. So, and he kills the neighbor. Now he tells the government, okay, you rewarded me last time, now you reward me this time also. This time, do you think government will reward him? No. Correct? Government will not reward him. He will be punished for this. Somebody may question, the action is same, then what is the difference? With the same action, what is the difference? Why the same person is punished, for doing the same action? Can you tell me anybody is the answer to this? A soldier killing another soldier gets rewarded. A soldier killing the neighbors is punished. Why is it so? Any answer? It's the same action, killing someone.
Purpose is
the
different.
border, he's doing his duty.
He was doing his duty. Soldier was doing his duty. And other person, what was he doing?
He was also doing his duty.
No, that
So,
was not duty,
this
because
is
there was some
different.
of his action which was out of his own thought process, right?
But
So there,
killing the neighbor is not allowed, no?
yeah,
As
it's
per
not
the
in.
law.
So yes, thank you, Madhav. Very well, very nice point. So there he was given authorized by somebody to do. Who is that authorization? Is the government of India. Government of India is authorizing the soldier that you go and kill, no issues. So that means there is somebody at the top which is telling that go and kill. But if the same person does any action on his own, for his own enjoyment, you call it, or his own action, whatever you call it, or for own gratification, he does that. then he gets punished. Same way, any action which is authorized by God, if we do, then we will not get any reaction. And that will become a karma. Now you know. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yat karoshi yat ashnashi yat joshi dajat yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat purushmadarthanam. Whatever action we are doing, if we are doing arpana or if we are offering it to Krishna, then that work, that thing becomes a karma. That means any action which is done for the or as per the instruction of God or for the pleasure of God, that action is a karma. That does not give us any reaction. Otherwise, every action will give us a reaction. Good action, good reaction. That is like a law. See, okay, we'll discuss it further. So does that mean ignorance is because most of the people don't know this, right? So they say, anyway, I don't care. Does it work like that? If you don't care, if you kill somebody and then you go to the court and say, I didn't know killing is a crime. Killing is, I thought killing is fine, so you cannot punish me because I didn't know killing is a crime. Will the judge leave him? Ignorance of law means you are doing sinful activity and it will get and end up with what? Suffering. Same like the person says, I don't know if it is killing is a crime, so I killed it. I liked it, I wanted to kill, I killed it. So what will be it will result in? It will result in suffering. So anything which we do for our own gratification or our own enjoyment, don't think that, we are discussed in very first session, searching happiness. For happiness, we do all sinful activities. We will kill other animals and we lead them. For what? My happiness. It is like something like ignorance. We are saying, I don't know killing the animal is a bad thing. So nobody can, but you have killed a life. And this is nature of law of nature. If you kill somebody, you will suffer for that. Okay, so we should not just for our own enjoyment, don't kill other animals. Solution is what? Solution is last week also we discussed this. What is the solution of all this? Ignorance is not bliss. Never assume ignorance is bliss. We should acquire knowledge. And knowledge is coming from the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita. We read Bhagavad Gita, we practice that Bhagavad Gita in our life. That's where the topic started from, search for happiness. And we are not talking about temporary happiness. We are talking about eternal happiness. That will come only with the proper knowledge. Now the question comes is knowledge sufficient? Just having a knowledge of something is good enough? No, because if knowledge is sufficient, why we get tempted to perform certain acts? Do you think a thief does not know that if we will do some stealing, he will be punished? Do you think the thief does not know? Thief knows that he will be punished. Still he goes ahead. Same thing, my always favorite example is, I'm a diabetic person. I still know that sugar is anything if I eat sweet will hurt me. I'm still tempted. I go in front of sweet shop and I will see my wife is not around. Okay, let me have some 2-3 gulab jamun. Because anyway, she is not there around. She will bug me all the time anyway. So, some examples which are given here is a doctor is smoking. Do you think doctors, many times I see doctors smoking. Do you think doctor doesn't know smoking is bad for health? We jump signals. In Bangalore, if we see, oh, there is no cop, okay, let's jump the signal. That's why they have put so many cameras now, almost every signal they have put the cameras. Somebody is watching, like Paramatma. He's sitting there observing. A child is putting a hand in the fire. Somebody will say, he's just a child. How can he get burnt? Boss, the laws of nature are going to work as you know or you don't know. It's your problem. Better you acquire that knowledge. So Arjuna in third chapter, he asked this question, by what one is impelled to sinful act, even unwillingly, as if he is engaged by force. So we are engaged by some force. We know that it is a bad activity. Still, I know, sometimes I get angry on my children. In my office, I shout at my colleagues, and later I regret it. Why did I do it? It's a wrong thing. That means inside I know it's a wrong thing, but I'm not able to stop. What is the answer Krishna gives to that? Says, Kamesh Krodesh Rado Guna Samudbhava Mahashno Mahapapma Vedenam Verinam. Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is lust only, Arjuna, which is born in contact with material mode of passion and later transforms into wrath, and which is the all-devouring sinful enemy of the world. Means, we'll discuss these modes of material nature later in some other class, because we have three modes of nature, which is Rajogun, Tamogun, and Satogun. So Satogun means tendency to do good activities. Rajogun is tendency to do passionate activities like uh, earning more money, watching movies, going for cricket and this thing. Those are passionate activities. And Tamoguna is all illicit activities, drinking, gambling, you know. So Krishna says that it's lust. Lust means desire. I want to enjoy. The desire to enjoy is like, cause of, and the origin of that is in Rajoguna. That means if we are, we are helpless. We are helplessly driven towards doing bad karmas. So how do we overcome that force? I know being angry is a bad thing, but I'm not able to control. I know I should not be lusty when I look at other women, or a woman is looking at men, but we become lusty. It's wrong. I'm a married person. I'm not supposed to look, but I get tempted. I just can't control when I see the food, although it's not good for my health. So these uh, uh, impulsions, that force, how to overcome that force, that Bhagavad Gita teaches us. So what we have to do is, we have to perform activities for Krishna. That means we have to change our consciousness that every activity which I will do it for Krishna. As I give you the example, Yat karoshi yat ashnashi yat judoshi dadachi yat tapashyasi konteya tat purushmadarpam. You offer to me whatever you eat, whatever you give donation or charity, whatever activities you do, Krishna is saying, you offer it to me. Those activities will, become akarma, and that will be neutral activities. So if if I have some in bank account, if I have some positive things, means if I go to bank account, I check how much money I have. I have 10,000 rupees. So they will give, okay, you can get only 10,000 rupees because you have 10,000 rupees. Assume you have some overdraft on your account. So you may get, okay, you have an overdraft, whatever you call it, with that you will get 10,000 minus. So you will get minus 10,000, you will be getting, right? So it is either plus 10,000 or minus. So whatever is your account. But if you have to make your account, if you have to come out of this cycle of birth and death, our account of karma should be zero. And that is only possible if we do as per Bhagavad Gita, the activities for Krishna. So, what are the activities which are done for Krishna? Krishna tells in Bhagavad Gita, Man manabha mad bhakto madhya jivam namaskuru. Sarv dharman paritajya mamekam. He gives many instructions in Bhagavad Gita. When we discuss in detail, we'll go to that. So but some of the examples of his spiritual activities are the akarma examples. Like when we chant, we meditate, we read scriptures, we honor Krishna prasadam. Somebody of you may have questioned why a prasadam is required. We'll discuss that. Any devotional activities, what we do, they are the examples of akarma. And they have the tendency or the power of burning our bad karma. Because why we suffer in this material world? Why we come? Because we have the... So Krishna says, Sarv dharman paritajya mam ekam sharanam braja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will take away all your sins. Krishna is giving that guarantee. It is 18th chapter, 66 shloka, which is the end of Bhagavad Gita. There he is saying, Sarv dharman paritajya. Abandon all religion. Mam ekam sharanam braja. Only come to me, surrender to me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha shanti. I will take away all your sins and I will liberate you. So our actions, because today's topic is that, our actions should be, can my work make me happy? Work cannot maybe it can make you temporarily happy because it will give you some temporary relief or something like that. but only activities which are done for Krishna will give us that. So the point now is that all this looks good in theory. How to practically follow it? So you then wait for next week. We have a session which is called the Ultimate Perfection. So that will be the last session of this 4-session series. So we'll be discussing ultimate perfection, how we can achieve perfection in our life. We have till now I have discussed that what is we all are searching happiness. How the happiness is by identifying ourselves correctly, which is I'm not the body, I'm soul. We should know I'm a gross body, subtle body, and all that. Then third topic today was that will my actions determine anything? Yes, our actions very clearly determine what my future is going to be. And then the thing is how our action should be done. That we will discuss in next week, which is ultimate perfection. So thank you so much for today's session. Luckily I finished on time. So anybody has any question related to first 3 sessions which we have done so far, we can discuss. Or you want to share some of your thought process after these 2-3 sessions, please let us know. So is
Pranam
everybody
Prabhu.
clear? Hare Krishna. Yes, Pranam.
Yeah, yeah. So I have a query.
Hmm.
So you see it right that Paramatma is observing, and then there is the context of karma, which decides basically what we get, right?
Okay.
So thing is, who keeps the means basically to me it looks like basically a account being maintained of all the karmas that we are doing or performing.
Hmm.
Who keep track of that? Where is that basically tracked, and how is that uh, actually been executed on?
So you have heard some. Actually, it's all done by Lord God. Paramatma is a Paramatma. But Paramatma has given that work to somebody. You must have heard about Chitragupta, right? There is somebody called Chitragupta. So when we die, we go to Yamloka. Yama is the person who decides our what is our next destination. Yamraj, right? So he has one assistant called Chitragupta. So Chitragupta is our data scientist, whatever you call in today's term. He maintains all the data. He's a very intelligent person. He maintains the data for everybody. So yes, but ultimately it is maintained by God Himself in the form. So actually speaking, God doesn't require anybody. But yes, He has maintained a person externally. To that. That is. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. So yeah, in a way, yes. And then I have one more follow up. Sorry, I'm kind of troubling you.
No.
So
Any
the
question?
yeah, one last question. What's the significance of all this? Basically, why is this world even needed?
Significance of what?
This whole of this existence. So basically, we know that we are basically thrown into a movie that is already continuing, and I don't know when it has started, when it'll kind of come to an end. But why this movie at all?
Okay. So significance of this is that okay, Prabhu, how old are you? Sorry to ask this question.
I'm 39.
39. So you are married, I assume.
Yes.
You have children as well.
Yes.
Okay. So somebody may question, why do you need a wife? Why do you need children? What will be their answer?
Again, I probably I'll try to rephrase in simpler words. So see, the thing is, we are talking about karma, right? So basically, even if I go back to science, they people call it's a Big Bang theory that comes up. And if I say
Okay.
that when the Big Bang happened, the answer is that time itself did not exist before the Big Bang, right? So the
Correct.
basic context is that the if time did not exist, you cannot say that when it happened. But if something cannot come out of nothing, right, there has to be something from where things have started. So thing is
Correct.
that what I'm my confusion is, if this is what is panning out. And if we are saying that Paramatma is the sole entity who is observing and kind of dealing with all the karmas and all those things, why you would even start something like a world?
Because God is also, see, as you rightly said, see, at least one thing good, you made a very important point, that something cannot come from nothing, right? It is not possible. Something has to come from something only, right?
Mhm.
So there is something which is there. So different people will, or different, what do you say, philosophies will say them differently. Somebody will say it's a light, which is everything originating. But then the again question come, if light from light, how come a person's are? So, for example, I am giving a birth to a child, so that child will be like I am, right? So same way, all the creation which is given by the, you know, so God has created. So your first question, why does God creates all this? Because God is also like a person, like all of us. God also wants to enjoy. God also wants to, experience the same feeling. Whatever we observe in our life is the representation of what God likes to do. So, but only thing is, some of them may be perverted form of that. So that's a different thing. So now your question, why does so I will just rephrase it. What your question is that, okay? So why this material world is there in first instance, right? So there your question is, okay, God can
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
just removed wherever he is, and he can just enjoy whatever he wants to do, he can do. Why he created one place where we are coming and then we are suffering? Enjoying, the we will never question to God. So anybody question why I'm enjoying in this world? No, don't question. Mostly, most of us, very few intelligent people question that. But most of us, this question is when suffering comes in our life, then we say, why am I suffering? Why God is giving me so much trouble, in our life? So answer to that is, Prabhupada gives very nice analogy regarding this in his books. He says a city is there, right? Assume there is a Bangalore. So in Bangalore, all of us are very free to enjoy whatever we want to enjoy. I can come out of Shobha city and I can go to some movie, I can go to some amusement park, or I can drive on the road. Nobody will come and question me. But as soon as I do something which is not as per the prescribed law. Assume you come out of Shobha city and start driving on the right side, and you go and bang into some person who is coming, bike while is coming from other side, and you killed that person. As soon as you do that, what will happen to you? You will be taken into custody and you will be put into prison. So you will be put into prison. Now you think, what is the purpose of prison? Do you think the purpose of prison is to go and be trash a person left and right, and make his life miserable, bleeding, and all that? No, the purpose of prison is that, okay, you realize that you have done something wrong, and you understand that this freedom which was given to you, it has some value. So then what happens is you are curtailed a little bit in a very small place, in a prison cell and all that. And then what happens is, then a person realizes, oh, I was so lucky to be, free outside. I was enjoying with my wife, my children. I was going out, enjoying various festivals in Shobha city. And, every second week there is one Pongal celebration, one Diwali celebration, one Dashera celebration. I was enjoying all that. And now, see, my freedom is curtailed. My happiness is curtailed. And that the intelligent person is, he understands, oh, I was happy outside. Let me go outside. I will do some good karma actions here in the prison, and I can go outside, and then I can lead a free life. So this is what is the philosophy behind this, Prabhu. That we all are part and parcel of what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita very clearly. Mame vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatana. Everybody is living part and parcel of me. Only thing is, when we are with Krishna and we don't understand that value of it, then Krishna sends us to this material world. And just to understand this material world, coming from Big Bang, black hole, different kind of theories are there. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, today is not the context, but it clearly tells about time, how the time is relative. See, And just because you're talking that about this time being relative and all that, I will just give you example that, you know, an ant is there. Ant will be walking on the whatever our floor, and maybe it will walk for maybe 2-3 days or whatever is our as per our time, and the ant will die. Then we are human beings. Then a dog has a life of 12 years, a cow has a life of 20 years. Then there is somebody, other animals may have, I don't know how much elephant has. Then we human beings have some 70, 80, 100 years of life. And then Brahma has 311 trillion years. To read our, if you have Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Prabhupada, you can open up the shloka number 4.1, which is first shloka of fourth chapter. There Prabhupada explains, it gives the whole calculation, how is the life of Brahma. So from Brahma is the longest living entity in this material world. And ant, and even there are some bacteria, virus, they all are also living entities. They have a life of very, very small life. And everything lives a very relative life. And in that life also everybody wants to be happy. That's what we discussed in our previous session. So the point is, this material world has been made to make us realize that there is something which is very, very, where there is no relativity, where everything is in absolute. There we are not bound by the laws like this temporary life and temporary happiness. Nothing temporary is there. Everything is eternal. A Brahma Bhuvna Loka Punna Vartino Arjuna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, from Brahma to smallest living entity, everybody has to take birth again and again. And Krishna says, anybody who is connected to me, he does not have to take birth again. He comes to the word where, you know, there is everything is eternal. I'm not sure if it answers your question, but in the short, I can say this has been created to make us realize that there is something which is very, very, eternal is available, where there is no temporariness, there is nothing short term, nothing like that. But anyway, keep coming to our sessions, Prabhu. We'll discuss more and more about this.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you so much for a wonderful question. Any other question or comments? Or any one of you have any realization related to three topics which we have discussed so far?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I have one question. So,
Yes, Natak.
जो कर्म में आपने बताया कि उस हम मतलब वो सोल आई मीन कृष्णा को जाके मिल जाते हैं. सो इन दैट वे वो आत्मा भी नहीं रहती या क्या, उसमें क्या होता है अकर्म में? आई मीन जैसे आपने लास्ट सेशन में बताया था कि बॉडी एंड सोल आर टू डिफरेंट थिंग्स. इफ पर्सन इज अगेन कमिंग टू दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, मतलब वो आत्मा नहीं मरती, लेकिन अकर्म में जब अगर कृष्णा से मिल जाता है कोई, तो उसमें आत्मा भी कृष्णा में जाके मिलती है या वो इट स्टिल रिमेन्स अलाइव?
Atma will still remain, because when Krishna says that Atma is eternal, that means it is eternal forever. In second chapter, 12th shloka, Krishna says that there was never a time when I was not there. There was never a time when you were not there. There is never a time when these kings are there who are standing in the battlefield. He's telling about them. So that means we all are eternal. So what happens to a soul? We also discuss there is gross body which remains in this material world, but there is subtle body which is mana, buddhi, and ahankar. That I told last week also, that man, buddhi, ahankar goes with the soul from one body to another body. That's why those tendencies which are there in our life, they continue in sometimes in next life. For example, sometime a child is born with very, very artistic skills. Although in the family there is nobody even know how to draw a line straight, but a child is born with very, very artistic skills. This is what I'm giving example. Or somebody is born with a very nice singing skills, and there is nobody in that family who even know what is a sare gama, like that. But child from the starting is showing this. All that happens because that mana and buddhi, which is coming from our previous life, it continues with us. So just a point which is out of the context from your question, but I'm just taking. So that's why it is another reason to do important actions in our life is because they will have imprints in our mind, and those imprints will go with us into our next lives. You know? So sometimes a person, a family is very sadhu people are there in the, everybody is very good people, but in that family, one person will be born who is very, all his actions are very bad, demonic actions, which we call it, in the sense he's into stealing, into womanizing, he's into different things. Somebody may say, everybody in the, even Ravana was born to a rishi family, right? He was so the point here is that, you know, when a soul, along with mana, buddhi, ahankar, by doing a karma, what we are doing is we are trying to purify our mana and buddhi. And next topic, next week, if you are not able to relate today, don't worry. Next week we'll discuss this point again. So when we purify our mind and intelligence, then what will happen is soul will ultimately go to the place where Krishna is there and become the eternal associate of Krishna in the pure form. So we will go there. We'll not go and merge into Krishna or Narayana. No, we don't do that. We go as a living being, as a pure Atma, we go there. And then we go and merge, we go and participate in activities with Krishna. And there everything is eternal. That is not bound by the relativity of time. So that's what it is. Does that answer your question, Mataji?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other question or comments? Okay. So if there's nothing else, then maybe it's already 9:15. So we'll close the session for today, and we will meet you all next week. So we'll be sharing with you all the quiz. Thank you so much. I saw many of you have attempted the quiz of last week and previous week to that. So thank you so much. And we'll be sharing the quiz for this week as well. Please answer as per your understanding, and then we will meet again next week. I also want to request you to please inspire your friends. See, one point which I want to make is that ISKCON is doing, I am a family person. ISKCON is not giving me anything to do these kind of sessions, okay? What we want is that, you know, whatever little benefit, I'm not saying I'm a perfect person, you know, but whatever I've got learned from ISKCON or from the Bhagavad Gita, message of Bhagavad Gita, which should I say ISKCON, because it's a message of Bhagavad Gita. Our goal is that we want to give it to others so that more and more people get benefit. Apply Bhagavad Gita in your life. It's very good thing in your personal life. It's going to change your professional life. It's going to change your relations. Bhagavad Gita is something which just has so much effect on our life. So please utilize this opportunity, inspire others also to have joined these sessions, and we will see you all next week. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Ram Ram. Hare. Thank you so much for that. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you.